Hello, my name is Visklugers and welcome to a episode of World of Wankers, and it'll be a series of videos, and I would like to host some of your replays on World of Tanks where you have encountered some really annoying douchebags and wankers. The idea of this series would be to show off these amazingly dickhead people that what they do and to just amaze you with the idiocy of people, because I used to see these kind of videos on YouTube and I personally like them a lot. There haven't been so much recently, so I was like, what the fuck, I'll do some of my own. And I really hope that if you happen to have replays like this, or worse, if they are worse, you definitely need to upload them on worldoftanksreplays.com and then send me email, and in the email add a link to the worldoftanksreplays.com where I can just by the press of the link can find your replay. And also it would be very much appreciated if you would leave there a small description on who's the dickhead and when is he going to do his Dixie stuff, so that it won't be so much of a search. If it is very obvious from the very start of the game, you can just put that, like maybe a T-34 driver is a dickhead, and I will understand it at the second the game starts. But if it's like 10 minutes in and someone TKs someone or starts to do some dipshit moves, you should put that, in around about this and that time, this and this player does this and that, and it'll be a lot easier to find. This replay is not special at all, gameplay wise. I was just casually playing and suddenly this Crusader just totally, I don't know, is he tunnel visioning or what is he doing? And then I apparently kill steal, and he returns the favor by dealing me some damage. He does not team kill me, and so yeah, whatever, he did 75 damage or so to me. But the big deal about it is that I'm going to do really stupid thing here in a moment, and if I wouldn't have been hit by that Crusader, I probably would have survived this, because I would have had enough HP to withstand 240 damage, so it would have been like 50-50 whether I die or I don't. So it was really annoying. And if someone kill steals, it does not give you a permission to be a dick. It really doesn't. This guy was on 0k games, so he probably is a noob. And I understand that if you haven't played this game a lot, you're not very good at it, but it does not justify you to do legitimate team damage. I understand accidents happen, and artillery might make shots that doesn't land near where they were supposed to land, and they might damage allies and so forth. But if you aim and shoot multiple times to guarantee that you make at least one scoring hit on your ally, is a dick move. Up next we have this gorilla that is right to my left, who just goes to do usual artillery stuff, and you know, this game is nothing special, and it does just develop in the end. So this is why I have put a really high replay speed, is because the actual replay does not, you know, the game wasn't that exciting. I'm the Crusader SP, deal a couple of kills, and eventually we win the game. So maybe the gorilla is getting frustrated due to the because he's not getting any kills or something. I don't know, but soon he will make his appearance. Now that Chaffee spots the bishop. Now the bishop is just fired. Does the Chaffee look like he needs help? Yeah, he needs the help of Gorilla. Tim kills him, but that was probably just accident. It was probably accident, but you know, even if I could have shot the bishop there, I wouldn't have shot. I didn't have shot at the bishop, but I wouldn't have shot him unless I see that, okay, the Chaff is gonna die. But let's just make this map a little bit bigger. You can see that the gorilla is there behind me at the end of the map. Keep an eye on him. He starts to move, moves up. I get my third kill and boom. Yeah, hello. That was not an accident. So the Chaffee kill might have very well been an accident, but if you park like a couple of meters behind another tank and pull the trigger, that's not an accident. That's just a pure dick move. Okay, so the third replay is me playing on the M44, and it's tier 8 game. So if you are in an artillery in a tier 2 tier higher game, where it's like mostly heavy tanks, or actually it doesn't quite matter if they're heavy tanks or not, you're not gonna do a lot. You're really not gonna do a lot. I got lucky and I killed the VK at the very beginning, and there's not a lot I do in this game. Just do a lot of blind fires and a couple of good hits I do make, but that's not important. What is important in this video is the IS in our team, the IS driver, and he does not do anything. He does not TK or block or anything. But what really annoys me is that some people just, I don't know, they just want to whine and bitch about so much. I don't get it. You will see when he dies. And yeah. So at the moment we're just losing one tank. We're down one tank more than the enemy is. I make a really lucky shot to the T-32, but now we're losing 3 tanks. We could pull this off. We could still pull this off. But we're not. So I'm just making all I can. Typical RNG there, but you know, nothing major. So those guys are dealt with. And it's very soon the IS will die, and then he will start the blame train. Someone has to be blamed for the loss of this game. Of course, there's always the one person who blames the whole team or some player in it. Now the Artie has died. And he says, attack Artie. And I honestly don't know what the hell does he mean. Does it mean that you don't shoot or what? But when you hit like enemies like these, you're gonna do like 90 damage as I did there. And it's not gonna do like anything. I have to hit him like 16 times to kill an IS-3. Of course that was quite unlucky, but still, the point is still there. So he's gonna blame the artillery for all of this in this particular replay. And the Crusader SB that was in this game was stock. He had the tier 5 howitzer. So it's very unfair to be in tier 8 game with that gun. In the FV304 it's reasonable because it's so agile, small and fast that, you know, it can make it work, but the Crusader SB doesn't make it work. So T-32 has died and there's basically no one defending, and then the IS says that I am a noob, and I would like to know why. Maybe because I did not one-hit the IS-3, which is quite ludicrous, because I'm only a tier 6 tank, tier 6 artillery. And I was like, what? You know, is he really talking to me? And he's like, how are you doing? And then I stopped to fastly type that, you know, how do you think I'm gonna do in a tier 8 game? And he's like, go sleep. And it's like, you know, this thing takes like 30 seconds to reload and too long to aim, so that you can't just be shooting all the time. And you have to really think when to shoot. Quite unlucky that I didn't kill the Bulldog, but it doesn't matter. Even if I would have killed him, it would have been over. And even though this was a loss and it would have kinda sucked, it's so frustrating that there has to be the one dickhead who is in a superior vehicle, and he just points the finger at someone. It's like, you are fucking bad. You didn't do good. And the best thing to do is that when you know that, if for instance I know here that, okay, I'm almost done 2000 damage, which one of us did better? Which one of us did better? And I was so keen on looking, how well did he do in that game? How well did he do? Because I was like putting in the chat that, you know, let's see the post-game stats. Which one of us did better? I did 2061 damage in a tier 8 game, which is, I think it's reasonable for tier 6 artillery. It's not anything major, but yeah. I did in the XP, I was the second best on XP, so that can kind of tell that, you know, you did quite well compared to your team. So how did our IS friend do? So he scored 2 hits and managed to do almost 500 damage. Now if you are in a tier 7 vehicle on a tier 8 match and you do 500 damage, I don't think it is very justifiable to point your finger at your team and say like, you are shit. I would have understand that if they're like the VK3601H would have had like 2,500 damage and be like, oh my god, you guys suck, and that the tier 6 has to carry the game, and I would have understood. because he's in a against all odds but doing the best. But if you are in a vehicle that is suited for this kind of game, or like in the tiers, so that you're in a suit in a position that you should do reasonably well, and you don't do well, and then you just like, oh my god, you are so bad. And I think artillery is something that is very easy to say, oh, you're not doing anything, but you have like 35 seconds of reload, or maybe even more. But oh god, it's just that you cannot be Ramboing around shooting whenever you can with a tank that has a huge reload. You think the IS would know that you can't just take all the shots you can if you have a slivering of chance of hitting, but maybe he doesn't know. I don't know, I really actually don't care. So the final replay is in my AMX 13F3, and I just recently got it, so I'm pretty much stuck. And oh my god, oh boy, you just didn't do that, Sonny Jim. You just done fucked up. Look at this M6. I personally did not look at him when I was playing. I was like, oh, sorry. That's sorry that I hit you Panzer 4. I was like more concerned about the Panzer 4, but it took me a long time to notice, but look at my reticle. It's just moving all around the place, and I am going backwards. And it was right about now, when I was trying to hit this Chaffee, that why is my reticle so big? And then what? Oh hello! Our top tier heavy tank has chosen to hug me for the whole game, apparently. He's all like, choo choo, motherfucker. But why? I didn't do anything to this guy. What kind of a douchebag does this? And here I just try to reverse and get the hell out of there. And you have no idea how much I would have wanted to shoot him. But I believe that he's probably troll. He must be troll. That he's just trying to make me shoot him. Because he clearly wanted to ram me there and provoke me. But I'm just not returning the favor. At this stage I just gave up. I was just like, fuck it. Just let him push me. Let's just enjoy him pushing me around the cliffs and the battlefields. And I was just like, just fuck it. I reported him and just typed in the chat that please people just report this guy. He's no use to any one of you. And apparently I'm stuck there. He couldn't push me any further and he gave up. So at the 12-minute mark my game actually began, and it was one of these games. So we're gonna lose no matter what. So I was like, fuck it, just fuck it, just what good did the M6 get if he wasn't trolling? And even if he was trolling around, what good did he get? I really don't fucking get it. And afterwards, looking at this replay, it's pretty fun. At least for me, it's pretty fun. It's just like, what the hell is this guy doing? What is he thinking? But at the moment, I was trying to get the October bonus, and I just really couldn't get it. I had like lost more than 10 games in a row, and I was like very, let's just say upset. And then I managed to kill this T1, and I was so sorry for him that our team just was so bad, and we had that M6 that I just typed in sorry T1 for him, because this was just so bad that it was hilarious. And of course, then your gun gets to work. And oh no, I wasn't trying to drown myself there. Drowning is for scumbags, and we're not scumbags. And then the enemy M6 is just like, please, one more kill for Top Gun. And I was just like, you know, whatever, I'm gonna die regardless. Let's give him a Top Gun. And I'm like in the chat, yeah, you know, sure, I'm gonna give you a Top Gun. Just, I will shoot everyone else but you. And he says, thanks. But oh, then there's the scumbag KV85. Well, you know, he's not scumbag. I would take this shot too. And he totally kill steals. But that M6. That fucking M6. What kind of a monster? What kind of a monster of a man? I'm just so curious that, was that intended? Well, did he just decide that, oh, I'm gonna fuck someone's day up, or like someone's game? Or did he really get pissed off for my driving, that I accidentally maybe touched him a little bit? I don't know. Leave your thoughts in the description about these replays, and mainly probably about the M6. I'm keen to know that. Do you think he was just screwing around, or was he legitimately just enraged that I hit him with my driving? Or was it just trolling and trying to get me banned for team damage or something like that? But if you watched this all the way through the end, please, if you happen to have some replays where something like this, or even if there's something even more hazardous, like even something even more fucked up shit going on, you got to send me that. Please just send me those replays, and I would be more than happy to feature them on my channel. Just send me them on my email, which will be on the description where to send them, and I will happily make some World of Wankers videos of those replays. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next video.